Alrighty boys, welcome back once again to another video. How you guys doing? Guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the new / returning Popshot shotgun within Fortnite Save the World. And this is a weapon that we haven't taken a look at in about a year, I believe. This is actually going to be a re-review, and the reason I'm doing so is because the Popshot just recently came back to the game, and I want to take another look at it with some, the newest heroes that have come out, the new team perks, and the other shotguns that are in the category. How exactly does the Popshot stand up nowadays in Fortnite 2019? So yeah, if you guys do want to get your hands on this weapon, you guys can actually go ahead and take yourself to the news tab, and it'll tell you doing the Merry Melee Frostnite challenge. It says that ranged weapons are frozen solid in this melee only challenge. Complete this challenge to unlock the Popshot shotgun. And I ended up running this with a group of friends over on twitch.tv. We only did the power level 140 version, but we cleared it, all the way through. It's a pretty fun challenge, but I believe you only have to stop at like 30 to 45 minutes. So it's a pretty simple weapon to actually get. Before we do jump into it, I just want to give a quick shout out to my man Red Mask for using my code at gfuel.com. If you guys would like to pick up anything, code demonjoefr is 30% off until the end of December, which is in the next few days. If you guys want to pick something up for a highly discounted price, you can send me a picture on Twitter and I can put you in a video and hit you with a follow. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it and actually talk about the Popshot shotgun. So we're going to go ahead and pull up the schematic page for this weapon and take a look at the perks and the stats. The perks on this weapon are your usual crit rating, crit damage, and magazine size. The last perk that comes with this weapon is getting 5 headshots in a row increases the ranged weapon damage. As you can probably tell, that's pretty much useless because getting headshots with a shotgun is just kind of odd. You don't really go for headshots unless you're using something like the double boiler. The final perk on this weapon is definitely really weird. I would much prefer something like snares the target or anything like that. Another thing about this weapon that's also kind of odd is that it doesn't actually come with double crit damage, so you're forced to actually substitute a regular damage there, and you can go with either mag size like I did, or you can go with fire rate. I just noticed that if you don't actually have the mag size perk, your magazine is actually going to be like 5 shells, so I went with mag size on my personal Popshot. Now, taking a look at the actual stats on this weapon, we have around 54,000 damage, 67 to 68,000 headshot damage, a 38% crit chance with a 410% crit hit damage, and the crit hit damage is getting buffed by my hero loadout. We'll go over in a bit. And by the way, those are really mediocre numbers. We got a 3.6 fire rate, which is really good, a magazine size of 9 and a range of 2,000, a reload time of 4 seconds, and an impact of 3,500. Now, taking a look at the hero loadout that we use for this weapon, we have Buckshot Raptor in our commander. He is the best shotgun hero, with totally rocking out as the team perk. We have Subwoofers, Battle Beat, and then Shell Shock, Locked and Reloaded, and Saurian Might. Now, of course, Shell Shock is going to give us more damage, Locked and Reloaded will give us more damage after a reload, and Saurian Might will give us more damage based off of our health for every 1 second. So this is the particular build that we're using in the gameplay in the background, and all the testing that I did with this weapon was used with this build. If you guys want to go ahead and take a look at a smasher test, here is the damage that you can do with the Popshot with this build and the perks. And as you guys are going to see, the Popshot's actually a pretty decent weapon whenever it comes to bursting down enemies. The magazine size is a little bit lackluster for the amount of fire rate that it does have. However, the actual damage and the overall DPS of this weapon is pretty impressive. We actually took down a 124 smasher in a solo game in only a few shells, and given the fact that it can fire so fast, that is actually pretty great in my opinion. I also have a smasher test against an elemental, and as you guys will see, the damage is pretty similar here. I get a little unlucky on some crits, but I end up finishing him off, so that should give you a bit of a general idea on how fast you'll actually be able to kill these smashers. And yeah, so let's go ahead and actually talk about this weapon. The Popshot in general, as I was talking about with the smasher test, is kind of just a burst shotgun. What you're going to be doing is you are going to just shell out a bunch of shells, no pun intended, as quickly as possible towards a group of enemies, trying to rack up those kills, and then kind of take a quick break, reload a few shells, and then unleash hell yet again. And that's kind of what this kind of archetype of shotgun is. It's kind of how you're basically going to be using it. It's pretty good against high health targets, and it works decently in groups, but overall you want to be using it on the beefier boys that you'll be fighting. Now, to give you guys an idea on how this weapon compares to other weapons in the category, I decided to compare it to the Stampede or the Huskbuster. Both of them are the exact same. You actually notice that the damage on the pop shot is a lot better, the headshot damage is better, the fire rate and the magazine are better, and the only thing that's holding it down is the reload time and the impact. Now, the reload time on the Stampede is pretty decent, the impact doesn't really matter all that much, and the fire rate and the mag sizes are actually pretty similar, but a little bit less fire rate on the Stampede, of course. One thing that's actually not being factored here is the fact that the Stampede has the damage to slowed and snared for 45%, and that's actually not factored here into the actual stats because you have to hit an enemy first before that stat actually applies. And so, you know, whatever you kind of factor that into the case, both of these weapons are almost neck and neck, completely similar. And that kind of brings me to the main point that I want to drive here in this video, because the whole purpose of this video is like, hey, we're going to do a quick re-review on the pop shot. Is it even worth your time? If you have a Huskbuster and if you have a Stampede, leveling up the pop shot probably isn't exactly worth your time. For me personally, as a player that actually really does like shotguns like the Staccato Shadow, the Double Boiler, the Pulsar, weapons like that, I'm a big fan of shotguns, and the pop shot is probably a weapon that I'm not going to visit all that much. There are just way better shotguns that are already in the game that will completely wipe the floor with the pop shot, in my opinion. And even if I didn't want to use those weapons, if I had something like a Stampede or a Huskbuster already leveled up, or even like a Tiger Jaw, there's just really no reason to even use the pop shot. I mean, I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad weapon. You know, it's overall maybe slightly above average in my opinion. There's nothing bad about the pop shot. It's just the fact that whenever you do compare it to other weapons in the game, it kind of brings down the fact of, well, you know, would you want the pop shot to really be worth it? And if you're not using the pop shot with a shotgun build, it's probably not going to be that effective. If you're not using it with totally rocking out, it's not going to be that effective. You're just looking at a shotgun that has the lowest possible crit hit chance, the lowest possible crit hit damage, and also a shotgun that can't even roll a double crit hit damage. So it's got a lot going for it in the sense that it's going to bring it backwards, you know, comparatively to other shotguns. It's not going to have that, you know, crit hit chance, not going to have that crit hit damage. You find yourself reloading a lot, and it's a very bursty shotgun where you're going to have to take those breaks to get those reloads in, and at the end of the day, there's just other shotguns that do it better. Double Boiler is really great for single target. The Pulsar is great for big groups. Staccato Shadow is really good for range and for big groups, and the pop shot's just kind of there. So if you have a Stampede, if you have a Huskbuster, pop shot's probably not worth your time. However, if you're a collector like me and you like to level up as many schematics as possible, then you might want to do it. You know, it's a really cool weapon, and it's a decent weapon that you can have fun with. I just don't know if I'd really consider it a meta pick, given the fact that it has a lackluster last perk, the crit is pretty bad, and the fact that you're going to be reloading this thing almost the entire time you're using it is kind of frustrating in my opinion. But guys, that's pretty much it for my kind of quick re-review of the pop shot. I didn't want to take too much of your time today, didn't want to stretch the video out that much either. However, I do got something that I can show you before the video is actually over. And for those of you guys that didn't know, for any of my more recent weapon reviews that I've been doing, I try to showcase at least 3 weapon wraps on the weapon that I'm reviewing. And in today's video, we have the Cozy Holidays wrap, the Big Flake wrap, and the Stinger wrap. I like the Cozy Holidays wrap because it has a very festive look to it, and I like to use these kind of Christmassy wraps on these Christmas weapons. The Big Flake kind of reminds me of Frostnite, which is where you're going to pick this weapon up. It's got a Frostnite kind of vibe to it, and I really like the animation on the Big Flake wrap. And lastly, we have the Stinger wrap, which is definitely a pretty random one, but it makes the pop shot look exactly like a Nerf gun, and I actually like that aesthetic to it. It looks kind of wacky, so yeah. Given the sound of this weapon too, it kind of fits a little bit. It's just kind of like a toy shotgun. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed my little re-review and you know, my little mini wrap showcase and whatnot on the pop shot. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. But guys, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you did like it. Dislike if you did not. Subscribe if you're new, because I make videos like this almost every single day, and I will see you guys next time.